And get your mortgage questions ready. Jim Nutter is here to take your calls. Start dialing now, 1-800-304-3638, or you can email us at openhouse@cnn.com. With hundreds of mortgage products available, it can be tough to pick the one that best suits your needs. One option, the adjustable rate mortgage. It can save you money up front, but you could end up paying more in the long run. Joining us now from Kansas City, Missouri for a better understanding of ARMs is James Nutter. He's president and CEO of James Nutter Mortgage Company. James, welcome.
Thank you. Welcome.
I know that about a third of people taking out mortgages right now are getting ARMs. They're getting the adjustable rate mortgages, which means if rates go up, the rate they pay will go up. I got to ask you, James, are people nutty? Is this a time to actually be taking out ARMs?
Well, possibly some type of ARM. I would hesitate on getting a one-year adjustable right now. Myself, I like what they call the hybrid ARMs, either a 3 or a 5-year ARM. But if you get a one-year ARM right now, in my opinion, when it adjusts next year, you will be paying a higher interest rate.
Okay, well, let's just do some definitions here, a 101. Will you describe for our viewers what is the hybrid, and when you talk 3-in-1, 5-in-1, 7-in-1, what do you mean?
Right. When I say 3-in-1 and 5-in-1, that means when you close, you will be fixed for 3 years, and then after that, it will adjust on a one-year basis. Or if you get a 5-1, you will be fixed for 5 years, and then after that, it'll adjust every year after that. Or 7-year and on like that.
Well, James, we've already got a caller on the line who wants to talk to you. Harry in California, go right ahead.
Hi, I got a question. What are the pros and cons for fixed and adjustable, as you said, but this one is a power option wherein you pick and choose, and then if you don't really know how long you're going to stay in the house?
Sure. Well, that's a great question. First of all, right now, I don't believe people realize how low the fixed rates have gotten again. Right now, on a 30-year fixed rate, it's 5.75% at 0 points.
Wow.
And on a one-year ARM right now, it's 3.625%. So that's barely a 2% drop. That's why I say I don't believe a one-year ARM is beneficial right now, because that's just not enough drop, in my opinion. However, on a 5-year, what I call a 5-year reset, which is actually not a 5-1 ARM, but it's a 5-year fixed rate. Then after that, it to go to a 25-year fixed rate. That right now is 4.5%, and for my opinion, that's a great deal.
Well, and we should say here that, you know, all of these rates you're mentioning are still below the long-term averages for even 30-year fixed rates. So it's a pretty attractive environment even now.
It's a very attractive environment because these rates on the 30-year fixed rates shot up in the springtime and early summer because the bond market was anticipating a very aggressive Fed movement.
Right.
Because they thought the recovery was just going to be out of control. And
Exactly.
They thought inflation was going to be very strong.
We're gonna squeeze in another caller here.
Sure.
We've got Donald in Nevada. Go right ahead with your question.
Hold on, Gene. Yes, I was calling about the interest only and the adjustable.
Right.
What was the difference between those two? And is the interest only better than the fixed and adjustable, if possible?
Good question.
Sure. Well, first of all, call me Jim. And also, the interest only is, for instance, if you get there's different types. There's a 30-year interest only. That's where it is. It's interest only for 15 years. Then after that, it becomes a regular fixed rate. Or you can get a 5-year interest only or a 7-year interest only. Those are very good deals if you're going to be in your house for in my opinion, for a short-term basis. Because you get in for a lower payment. But if you're only going to be there 3 or 5 or 7 years, and then you don't have to worry about, you know, the fact that you're not going to be, you know, paying down on your mortgage, it's a good deal.
Right, exactly.
As long as you know the risk.
Right, and the risk is that you build no equity here.
Right.
Let's go to Ken in New Hampshire very quickly for a final question. Ken, are you there?
Thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome.
We currently have an adjustable rate 3-year mortgage based upon the 10-year note at 6.5, and we are retired. So it's going to be changed probably about a year and a half from now. Do you have any suggestions?
Well, again, first of all, you know, a year and a half from now, I still believe interest rates are still heading up over the next year or two because the deficit is just not being addressed. However, that 5-year ARM is very attractive at, 5-year fixed rate is very attractive, or that 30-year fixed rate, especially if you're retired, is very good at 5 3/4 right now. When it comes to my home, I'm more conservative maybe than some other people.
Okay. Well, I think we're going to leave it there, Jim. Thanks so much for helping us today. We appreciate your time.
Well, thank you. And